That's a long story to say that Manitou Springs really, I think, has become a restorative justice community, and we're delighted that it works. One of the things that we did that's been very helpful is we partnered with the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs to evaluate our program. And so early on what we did was we brought someone in to collect some data, help us create some surveys, both with qualitative data and quantitative data, to figure out, is this working? One, is it working for the participants? Two, is it working for the stakeholders? Is it working for the school district? Is it working for the municipal court? How is it working for them? Are we saving them money? Are we saving them time? What are we doing that's making a difference? And so the study has shown that there's been a very significant impact, both qualitatively and quantitatively, in terms of the benefit that this program has had in Manitou Springs. And we continue to study this with the help of the university. And they've done this for free for us. It was great, great partnership that we were able to create. So that's been going on since 2004, and now we're up to 2009. And in 2009, I decided that it was time to broaden the concept, broaden the application, if you will, of restorative practices. And I think I mentioned that my practice has involved for the past 30 years representing injured people. Many have suffered a brain injury. Most have some type of a life-altering injury, some type of experience that will affect them and their families for the rest of their lives. And as I talk to people, I can tell you hundreds of examples. But as I talk to people, one of the common themes that I hear from most of my clients, from many of my clients, is a sense of anger and the sense of fear and the sense of frustration about what happened to them and what a particular insult. My work primarily involves auto accidents or falls. I do a little bit of medical malpractice work, but typically somebody else other than my client is responsible, is negligent for causing the harm to my client. And so when I talk to people, and a lot of times I talk to people who are stuck meaning they're not getting better. They've had treatment, they just can't seem to move on. They can't seem to get better. And when I talk to them and I question them and I listen to them, a common theme is the fact that they have a great deal of anger, fear, and frustration. And there's a lot of research out there that says that those emotional reactions can be devastating to your body. Just think about it. If you've ever had the experience where you've been particularly stressed or particularly fearful of something, maybe you get a cold, maybe you hurt your back, maybe something happens, and when you think about it, there's a very strong connection perhaps to the emotional situation of what's going on around you to your physical well-being. And so in the clients that I represent, they come in with a trauma. They come in with a serious trauma. And then you add on top of this the emotional reaction they have to someone talking on their phone and running a red light, someone drinking and smashing into them. You add that anger, and they have that. What they don't have necessarily is they don't have any explanation. Why did you do that? What were you thinking about? Why is it that you chose to run the stoplight or stop sign or whatever it happens to be, or drive drunk? And they don't have any way of getting that explanation in the general or the traditional system. And then they become very fearful about their future. What if I can't go back to work? What if I don't have the money to pay for my medical bills? What if I lose my house? Who's going to support my family? There's a tremendous amount of fear that's associated with a severe traumatic injury. And then the frustration. The frustration in that the insurance company generally doesn't protect them, doesn't provide the services or the resources that they need. As a matter of fact, in many cases, it's just the opposite. The insurance companies fight them. The insurance companies become the enemy. The insurance companies don't live up to their end of the bargain when you have an insurance policy and you can't access the benefits that you're entitled to. Or they're doctors who give them 5 minutes and then they don't have any more time for them. or the specialist who they see for 5 minutes who says, yeah, well, sorry, if you had some money, I might be able to help you or do the surgery or do something, but without any money, if you don't have any insurance, there's nothing I can do for you. It's tremendously frustrating experience for these people. And they don't heal. They're not given the opportunity to move beyond their injury or to allow their body and the medical profession to help them move beyond and become as healthy as they can become. One of the things that I was fortunate in doing is connecting again with the University of Colorado and a professor there, Edie Green, who back in 2006 wrote a law review article on the therapeutic effects of alternative processes such as restorative justice. She talked about the research about how what I just described, the impact, if you will, that the litigation system, the traditional litigation system, has on people's ability to heal. She talks about therapeutic jurisprudence and contrasts that and says, well, therapeutic jurisprudence is a method for allowing the law to help people heal. Contrast that to the existing system, which in fact causes people to become or to maintain their illness. Well, we need to change that. We need to figure out how can we help people heal. The tort system is designed to deter, but also it's designed to help people repair the harms. But that's not what happens now in the traditional tort or civil litigation system. And so there was a lot of research that was developed. She put together a lot of research saying that we know it doesn't work, the traditional system doesn't work, what might work? And what she came up with is that there's a significant amount of research that when people are given an apology, someone acknowledges that I did something wrong to you, right away there are anatomical changes that that person experiences. Decrease in blood pressure, decrease in heart rate, a sense of well-being, if you will. And those things have been measured and have been researched. And so it's no accident that restorative justice, I think, has a significant place in this field of tort litigation or civil litigation because it works. Recently, there's been a lot of research in the area of medical malpractice. Medical malpractice or medical mistakes is an area where someone feels that they've been harmed, in this case, let's say by a doctor. There was a relationship there between the doctor and the patient, in many cases a strong relationship, a trusting relationship, that has been harmed when there's been a mistake or an unexpected outcome. People get angry because they don't get an explanation. And over the past few years, there's been a significant amount of work to implement practices that deal with those kinds of problems and the needs of the injured person, if you will, the needs of having an explanation, the need perhaps of having an apology, and then ultimately the need to collaboratively repair the harm that has been caused by the medical mistake or the unexpected outcome or wherever. And there's a significant amount of data now in the malpractice area, in medical negligence claims, that suggests that the use of these kinds of processes, the use of a restorative process, can in fact not only help people heal quicker and cheaper and better, but it can reduce the costs of litigation, can reduce the cost of the treatment that's needed, the medical costs, can reduce the number of claims that are filed. I think that the Veterans Administration in Kentucky has been using this process very successfully for a number of years, and their data shows a significant savings. Colorado has a program called the 3R program, and there's some very good data showing that the number of claims has decreased significantly for people that have gone through a restorative type practice. University of Michigan Hospital, I believe, is using it. There are a number of facilities around the country that have been experimenting, if you will, with this kind of a process of restorative practice, and I think have been very, very successful.